In order, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilmember Siegel.
Present.
Metcalf.
Here.
Taylor.
Present.
Ezekiel.
Present.
Schroeder.
Present.
Houghton.
Here.
And Mayor Kazowski.
Here. We have full house, that's good. Setting up the agenda, Steve, do we have any adjustments?
No changes at this time. Right?
All right, the next item is the approval of the minutes from the May 19th regular meeting. Recorded on pages 3 to 8. Everything is in order, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any further discussion? Any correction? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
In the public domain, we're entering in different committees and commission minutes. I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Public comment? Got any public comment? Not, the Republican Representative Veronica Pate. She's here? No, okay. All right, reports by chairperson, Dale.
Good evening, everyone. Light month for invoices. Total amount paid for the month were $140,625 through June 2nd. Pretty much virtually all of them were routine items, a couple small ones. Snowplow, V-plow for snow plowing came in, made the final payment on that, $10,000. Striker, you'll see, is for an AED replacement at the park, $2,100. Grosse Pointe Woods, a fuel bill, as Mike's continuing to replace our tanks here temporarily. There was fuel purchased from Grosse Pointe Woods for $1,700. Other than that, nothing really jumps out on that report.
With it's only 75 checks, real small.
A couple of those were voided, I think, as well.
Yeah, it says one voided. Are there any questions from council? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Check register one. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right, on your key funds for your financial statements for the month through June 2nd. General fund, you're at this point to the good $796,000, but you have 2 months of invoices. May invoices will be being paid currently, and then you'll have June coming in. But you'll still come out in the positive as far as expecting to add to reserves this year and increase them. Each department at this point looks to be under budget. You know, either a minor amount or a significant amount. It varies by fund. Interest earnings, we've done well there. We're above our target of 200. I think we're at 235. The general fund is looking good. Major and local streets. Major street fund, you're 90,000 to the good, and that'll stay the course for the rest of the year. Local street, you're 133 short. In part, well, not in part, because due to construction, we intended to take surplus reserves to offset the additional construction work we did this past fall. So that's as expected. Water and sewer right now, 91,000 expenditures over revenues, but we still have our June billing order to come out in July, and then we have 2 months of bills yet to pay. Marina, 372,000 in revenues to date for your boat wells versus 335 last year. So they're up considerably. Courtney's been aggressively filling those wells up, so that's a good sign. And on the fund itself, you're 150,000 to the good to date.
Yeah, what's your projection for a surplus, like 350, 375?
In the general fund?
Uh-huh. And we agree that a lot of that will go into the retiree healthcare, right?
Yes, I would say 275 was a good.
I'm not holding it, Joe. I'm just.
Yeah, you're good, Steve, over there. No, you're in good shape. Yes. Actually, the last several years, we're able to throw additional monies towards the health insurance retirement plan, the pension plan, and put away money in the capital improvement plan. And we still came out 190 ahead last year, but you'll do better this year.
Sandra,
We didn't have a meeting this month, but we will have one next month, and it'll probably be virtual, and we'll let everybody know. It's probably gonna be July the 7th virtual.
Very good. Anything else to add, or is that? We don't need to make any budget amendments, do we?
No, I think you're gonna be good across the board.
Okay, public safety. Pete? Patches look mighty good.
Yes, thank you. We're gonna talk a little bit about them. I could talk for hours, but I won't on patches. Just kidding. Real quick, I do have an agenda item for a signed agreement that I need your authorization for. Our police department uses CLEMIS. CLEMIS is short for Courts, Law Enforcement, Management Information System. So it is the internet for the police departments where we share all of our information with 256 local agencies. The Oakland County was the authority for it and overseen it since 1955, but they're breaking free. They've come up with a new CLEMIS authority, and it is overseen by all its users. And currently, West Bloomfield will be the main station for it. But like anything, we have a new authority and we need a new agreement. And so today I'm here to ask you to familiarize yourself with it and vote yes in place of it. And
With the email I gave to you for that
Yes.
meeting, is that something you can use then to?
that is part of the agreement. We need your signature, my signature, and then this part of like a resolution to send it in to be ratified into the system.
Okay, but it's under new business now, so.
Okay, well, I apologize. I didn't know where it was on the agenda. So we can circle back around to it. But,
Steve's one step ahead of us.
all right, well, I apologize. The patches. And I'm gonna have Terry come step forward here real quick. We're almost Sergeant Terry Brown, right? That's point shows most friendly police officer. So we're in 115 years here. We're at our 115 year mark and we have a new staff. And many of the officers were interested in wearing patches. The patches go back to the very early days of police work for many reasons. But most importantly, those reasons are to be able to identify your community, your authority in the community, and represent part of your history. So when we started doing the patches and putting them together, we definitely looked for a lot of input from everyone in the department and looked at local badges and patches. And the only thing I asked is that it was clean, it was fresh, it wasn't clouded, it wasn't loud. And Director Schulte before me, and we all know who John is, he actually kind of really started this design. He left it on the computer, so I've been looking at it. So we went back and forth, and we came up with just our history and a very simple version of a patch. The Tribora sign in the middle is for the state of Michigan, so that represents us from off our flag. And then we simply went with Grosse Pointe Shores, America's first public safety department in 1911. Not only it's fresh, it says everything about our history, that we are the first public safety department, we're triple trained in the state, we still do it. So I hope you like the design. And one of the other things I wanted to show you was just how well everything matched up, the colors combinations with all of our embroidery now. And these are brand new vests. They went into service 2 weeks ago. This is from Armor Express. This is a level 3 protection for officers. It has a trauma plate in there. We call it a Molly vest because we attach these Molly devices, straps to the vest. And Jerry is more traditional and chooses to carry some of this stuff on his gun belt. But the new officers, the whole idea is to put it on your vest, take the weight off your hips. You have more mobility, less injuries. As you saw, this comes on and off really easy. So when we're going from transitioning from police to EMS, we can make that transition, have more comfort. But one of our residents, one of our most historic residents, stepped up as he does every 5 years because the vest only have a 5-year shelf life, and stepped in and helped this program again this year and got everyone the vest that they needed. The patches came in, and I just thought that you can look at our uniform. We've gone from a traditional tactical class A to more of a class B. This is more functional in the field. And when we're talking about doing all 3 jobs, it's built for comfort. It's built for protection. And so I just wanted to take a quick look at it because everything's new and everything matches. And we're really happy with the way the uniforms came together. If you have questions about it.
I have a question. How heavy is the vest?
Pardon?
How much do you vest weigh? It's not really heavy. I mean,
5, 8.
It's a little heavier than you think.
Probably about 10 pounds, I'd say, with all the plates and
I
the.
mean, that's the hot new thing, though, we walk with those weighted bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90-degree day, right?
Yeah.
So they're kind of getting their steps in too, I guess. But the more you put on it, the heavier it is. But like traditionally, it gets all that weight off your hips and there's all those back.
What are the plates made out of?
The plates, it's a steel plate, it's very thin, but the vest itself is made out of Kevlar. And so, and Kevlar is just stitched material that, when that round comes out of the gun, inside the cylinder, it's bored. So when that round comes out, it's spinning. And when it hits that Kevlar, and all that Kevlar is just mesh, it just gets caught in that mesh.
What can that withstand?
40, 45, 44. I mean, it won't, that's not rated for like ARs and rifles like that. So
It leaves a bruise.
it is big birds, yeah.
And also the distance would make a difference too.
And it would, and I'm not a gun range guy per se, I just understand the concept of how the Kevlar works. The travel plate covers your vital organs, which is your heart, the plate's not that big, so it's. So enjoy the patch. The only difference is when you get to the command level lieutenant, everything turns to gold, so we get with the color.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, and even I wore an embroidered shirt. This is more of a work shirt. Just so hot, I just want to wear my tie tonight, so I apologize. But you can see how we're evolving. All the departments are evolving this way. And it's just again built for comfort, and I think it looks good. The embroidery is really hot right now, and a lot of departments are going that way. So, but you take a nice look at it. And any questions?
Yeah, very nice. Thank
Okay.
you.
Good.
Chief, I'd just say, I've worked with a lot of departments over the years. You see a lot of them going into almost a more, as you say, tactical paramilitary look. And I think it's very important, and I commend our department for maintaining a very traditional
Thanks.
uniform for patrol officers, especially because kids know exactly who Sergeant Terry is, especially the Parcells guys. But when they see an officer in blue uniform with a patch on and a badge, they know this is the guy I gotta go to, this is the gal I gotta go to if I need help. And I think it's important that everybody teach.
I think we all need to look great in our uniforms. And I think it came out really good. The vest, the shirts, the patches, the embroidery stuff. So I just thought it was interesting. Maybe you guys should look at it. So
Yeah, well, that's our ambassadors to the community. I mean, really, the look is great. Very good idea.
I don't have anything else for you. It was just short and sweet. Anything you can ask me?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks for doing that, Chief. Public Works, Mike?
Let's not forget it was a short month. That's why we only had 75 checks. So short update. You may have noticed on your way in, or will tomorrow if you're driving down Lake Shore. We have installed 18 streetlight banners. We have a few more to go. We're not completely done. But we're going to install 18 streetlight banners on Lake Shore to celebrate our country's 250th birthday. All the banners, including all the new brackets, were supplied by the Grosse Pointe Chamber of Commerce. So we'd like to thank them for helping us out with that. They reached out to all 5 Grosse Points, and you'll see them throughout, mostly in the downtown districts. But since we don't have one, we use Lake Shore. You'll see them out there. The grounds department has been very busy. Very big thank you to the Beautification Commission and all their volunteers who planted all the flowers around City Hall and at the park. All the flowers in the city have been planted, except for these brick walls that are due to be replaced any day. We did save some plants of flowers for those to be planted after those have been replaced. Other than that, we are getting our game plan ready for the 4th of July celebration. We want to make sure everything's clean, looking good, flowers look good, well watered, all the bushes are trimmed. So we've already started preparation for that. Fish fly season is in full swing. I think it started last night. Overnight, it seems to have bloomed. So we do have all the lights turned off at the park and around City Hall to try to cut down rainstorm. We do that every year. And as soon as they're gone, we'll get them back. That's it. Really quick update. Not much has changed over the last month. If you have any questions, of course.
Are there any questions of Mike?
Thank you.
Okay, good report, Mike. Thanks. Parks Committee, John?
I was not actually at the Parks Committee meeting today. I don't know if there's something, was there anything that we
You
need
saw the
to?
pool update.
Oh, I heard Parks Committee and that sort of threw me off a little
I'll do
bit.
the Parks Committee for you. Not a problem.
Do you want to do that now or you want?
You can talk for sure.
Good evening. I'm pleased to be here for our second update. Since we last spoke, our pool successfully opened on Friday, May 22nd, and we've offered open swim times every day since. Next week, with school being out, we will start our regular hours. And then we're also starting lessons and activities on the 15th. Sign up opened on June 1st through Rec Desk, and we've got pretty good enrollment for tennis and swim lessons. I'm actually going to ask Ted to repost swim lesson just so that we can move that up. We did decide to remove our 11 and older tennis. There wasn't interest in that. So in terms of staffing and paying for the tennis people to come in, we're just sticking with the younger kids. We'll do early morning swim, the same as we have Monday through Friday, 5:15 to 8. And then I'm looking into water aerobics and Tai Chi, but I don't have anything yet to be able to roll out. Our swim team has been in the pool since the 26th and have been practicing as long as weather cooperates. It's been a little sketchy a few of the days, but they're getting ready. Our first meet is next Wednesday. Normally I talk to you on the day before our first meet, but it is next week on the 17th. We have 3 home meets, the 17th and then July 1st and 8th. The pool will be closed at 4 o'clock on those home meet dates. We also have a mini meet at home on June 20th. We will make sure all of that gets communicated in all the wonderful ways that we communicate so people will know. But it's typically, that's when people show up and they're like, why is the pool closed? It's 3 meets and 1 mini meet every summer, but it causes a little bit of concern. That's really, I will talk to you in the July update because it'll be before the last meet and prelims and finals, and I'll let you know how our reigning champs are doing this year. So that's it.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I was in the right place at the right time or the wrong place at the wrong time.
It depends. Okay.
And, I was in the middle of a conversation with 6 people talking about the early morning swim.
Yeah.
And they were complaining about the cost of the early morning swim. How many participate in that?
Well, it depends on the years. We typically get about 25 people who register and we get about 18 people who consistently use it. But it's every day, it's open for 3 hours and we have to pay to
Have somebody.
staff it. So, and
We pay during the day too, so I'm just wondering if it makes sense to do a charge for an early morning swim. I mean, there's a lot of people complaining about it, so.
well, we charge non-residents so that, but the resident piece, it's not when our pool would normally be open. So to be able to staff it, it's not built into the budget that Steve and I discussed to be able to have that program run.
I have a good response for that.
Mhm.
There's always 2 dedicated lanes the whole day till 8 o'clock. So if you don't want, if you're not an early bird, and that's free.
And sometimes even 3 lanes if you need us to. Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes
we
you're
try
so
to
gracious,
accommodate.
and then if you're an avid swimmer, then you can do your circle swim and share. So there's a way around it. It's just not in the morning. And I do have a question.
Sure.
How many roughly young people are on swim team this year?
We're still in the 90s.
Okay.
And there are kids, the cutoff is coming up like it's right before the first meet. So our numbers aren't, like, I've seen kids in the pool who aren't on the registration form yet. You know, it's one of those, their parent hasn't clicked the button, so the numbers aren't finalized yet. But we're doing all right. Yeah.
Jen, at our first meet of the season next week, are we gonna have a special celebration? Invite the championship Sharks with the trophy, you know, that all the trophies that were won have like a little dedication.
I think that would be lovely. I don't have anything planned. I think we can probably figure something out. Our resident announcer, who it does a really good job, I'm sure will speak about the championship often as the kids get in through the pool. But yes, we can look into doing something that honors.
It should be something special because
Sure.
it's a once in a lifetime, you know, I mean, basically 60 years. we
Yeah, it's
talked
been a
about it,
minute.
So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's amazing what happened.
Yeah,
And even in the final event, I think there was a disqualification or something by our team, I think, but we won by
yeah,
a few points.
yeah,
It's really special.
It was special. yeah. It'll be like the banner raising. We'll figure out something. I will come up with something,
That'd be
yes.
nice.
And we'll try to transport the
I know it's
trophies
a lot of
again and
extra
hope they
work,
don't
but-
fall apart. There's a couple of them that need some repair, but yes, we will absolutely look into doing.
Thanks, Jeff.
Of course.
Don?
Anything?
Just a few things to add. So we did have a meeting today at 4:00. And Mr. Poloni gave us an update on the dive-in campaign for the new pool. And Mr. Wade talked about the old pool, and there are tons of Band-Aid repairs being done in the old pool right now. If we try to do, bigger repairs, we'd be talking in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for what needs to be done for this pool now. So we're not planning on spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the pool right now, since we're hoping it's temporary. But we are down to one filter pump right now. We normally have two. The pool functions on one filter pump, but if that filter pump goes out, we'll have no pool this summer, unless we have a replacement or a repair for that. So we're hoping that we're gonna have a
Mike and I will teach you the chants we do every day, hoping that the pool,
So I'd like everyone to pray for the filter pump for the pool this year. Keep that in your prayers. We talked about the concession stands again this year. Again, it's open now 7 days a week. Weekends through the work of Full Circle, which they've been great. They've expanded their hours from noon until 6. And then Monday through Thursday through a contract worker who's doing that work for us. And the concession stand will soon have snow cones to be able to purchase and some major updates. Hopefully, maybe a cold brew. I don't mean beer, but like Starbucks cold brew might be nice. So things like that. Having the picnic table moved in under that canopy for people to sit when they purchase items at the concession stand. But so far, it's been successful, and we'll hope that when school gets out, it will be even more so. We discussed also the geese mitigation, and Fran Bachman and her canine patrol with Trace have done an excellent job. I think you'll notice that the park looks clean. There were no gooselings birthed at the park this year, and that may help even for next year, because they tend to come back with migratory excess if they've been born here, but they've not been born here this year, which is nice for us. We also discussed, park passes this year. Park passes are all hard copy this year. In the future, we're talking maybe a rec desk phone app that allows you to have your park pass on the phone, which will mitigate losing the park pass, and people tend not to lose their phone. Anyway, it's going to be an availability, I think, for next year. We also discussed we have a sign in front that says, right in front of the gatehouse, that says must show valid park pass entered. But sometimes people pull in and they don't realize that. So we're going to add maybe a second sign, same type of thing, must, show park pass at gate to enter. Before you actually enter that causeway that goes into the park, so people don't get kind of trapped in there and thinking, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have pulled in here if I knew you need a park pass. Also, through the Grosse Pointe Improvement Foundation, Brett Marshall said he would discuss with them the possibility of purchasing arborvitae or some other horticulture to put in front of the main fence to give it a little more aesthetic value. And that is about it. We have our next Parks Committee meeting at 4 p.m. Hopefully it'll be outdoors, weather permitting, on July 21st, just before the council meeting. Any questions or suggestions for the Parks Committee?
Any questions for Don?
I have a question.
Yes.
We subcontract somebody for the concession Monday through Thursday, and then
Yes.
just to be clear, in Full Circle does Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That is correct.
One last thing, because I know Steve mentioned it the last time and I had forgotten. We are dealing with Grosse Pointe Farms synchronized swimming team that is also going to be at the pool. We're working out the details for that. Steve and I will talk kind of offline. There's just a couple of hiccups that we're trying to work out, but that will be, we've got to play nicely this summer because it's sounds like it's about 40 kids and they're looking to use the deck for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So we're working through that. So
But that's temporary, it's not all summer.
it's essentially the length of the swim team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Through July.
yeah, which most people consider all summer because they're here and then August is, so it's like all the times
I
that
see.
people really want to use it. So, and then did you talk about tennis?
The tennis tournament is this weekend.
Yeah.
It's June 13th at 9 a.m. for doubles tennis for any gender, and any age. So all you need to do is go online or just scan the code and it'll take you to the correct spot to register for that doubles tennis tournament.
Okay. Any other questions?
report.
Very good report. Okay, thanks, Ken. Thanks, John. Harbor Committee, John?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I spent about 2.5 hours last Wednesday walking through the harbor, on every single dock, every single well. And during the course of the walk, though, I met our new marina maintenance man, Greg, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, he's taking great pride in what he's doing. And the whole time I was there, he did not stop moving. He was power washing, he's taking out trash, he's dipping, he's here, he's there. This guy has been just stepped up our appearance of our marina. Good, you met him yet, he's a really nice guy. Anyway, so the results of walking through the harbor, I came up with 113 boats in, not in 18. Of that, 19 boats need to have their lines adjusted to maintain their current well. However, there are 19 boats that are too big and some are substantially too big, especially in the narrower fairways where there's limited amount to get through there, because fairways are usually designed at a distance of 1.25x of your well length. So when you have somebody in a 30-foot well that's 6-7 feet out, that's of huge danger. And then we had people too small in wells, 13 of them. So, but to play the checkers game to try to readjust, it can't be probably done this year, but we can, I think, swap four bigger ones into, if they're too big, go out where there's 4 that are too small that can come in. And under advisement, we're going to try to work out how to let people know probably for next year that, when you do sign up for a well, just because your boat says 28, I get a 30-foot well. That's just 28 that the manufacturer put on. If you look at the specs, took on this one boat, the specs and his boat is 30.9 feet. That's excluding engine or pulpit. So he's at 37 feet in the 30s. He should go to a 40. But this is going to take time to figure it out and then let people know. And then a lot of the ones that are not compliant are non-residents. There's a lot that they probably didn't submit their correct data of what their boat really is. So
This way, what do they have to submit? Their proof of insurance and then a copy of the registration?
yes, but I think a lot of people just say, oh, I have a 28-foot boat, I want to get a 30-foot well. Well, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a 21-foot pontoon, and when I stretch out the engine and the back behind where this actually measures, I'm at 25 and a half, 26 feet. Well, there's no way I could fit in the 25.
Okay.
John, you're just really saying, however you do it, you have to be inside the pilings. Every bit of your boat has to be inside the back pilings.
If you don't, you let him go, but then you let him go. So then why, sure, many rules. So it's going to pull it.
And the danger is when, especially with that propeller stick out and you are pushed by the wind and it rakes the side of your boat with so much propeller, it's a major issue in the fiberglass boat.
Well, now that when a boat does sink, now you have biohazard. You have, oil, fuel in the marina, then you have a cleanup issue. So it's not just to make it say that we want you inside your well. There's a lot of other reasons that are pertinent. And our next meeting is TBD.
Great. Good report, John.
Great question. I know on Facebook there was some concern about some of the algae weeds build up, especially around 19 to 30 wells. In the past, I think last year, didn't we have a bubbler in that section that kind of pushed that out? I didn't see that.
Pushes it out from the first fairway.
Yeah.
Into the second fairway, and then that fairway allows to catch the wind because there's less break from the yacht club than you usually get the south or the west prevailing winds. And that pushes everything into that one section.
Yes, okay.
And then we had the cool temperature, and then all of a sudden it hit high and things just
Right.
accelerated to low.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think Greg is on top of this. He's taking great pride in what he's doing. So one person out there, I mean, he's nonstop.
Well, it's great. So he's working to try and clean that up in this. He's well.
And Don, as well, we treated last
Yes.
week. So we treated to kill the weeds. So what happens is it came up on the weekend. And so you saw a little more, we don't have staff there on the
On
weekend.
weekends
cleaning.
also, right.
And so that's what happened. So we treated it during the middle of the week last week, weeds start coming up. So you saw a few more, but they've been on top of it. And the yacht club's not running their machine yet. So that's another issue. So once they get that running, that will help
It
too.
was
So you're gonna
in
see.
the algae.
Sure,
Maybe
sure.
it got hot.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
good point, good report. Infrastructure, Danielle?
We had a meeting yesterday. It was a long, very informative meeting. I enjoyed it. John was there. We welcomed a new member, Jeff Macklin, very skilled for the committee. He's a chemical engineering major from the University of Michigan or DTE. He also worked for the Southeast Michigan Macomb sanitary version of Oakland County. So yeah, and now he's currently, he can't stop working. He's a chemistry teacher at night. So it was a welcome to the committee. There were three things we spoke about. Number one was the seawall. We were issued $1 million by the state of Michigan to repair the seawall. So we're gonna figure out what's probably the most problematic and address that. We were also earned or granted a $1 million, $1 million to study, just to be clear, a softening of the seawall. So it's an environmental, and if you want to look it up, sometimes there's rocks, there's foliage added. Anyways, it's just going to try to help stop the erosion coming into the seawall. So it's just a study before they do anything. They want that done first. So that's going to be undertaken. And then I'm going to flip over. We talked about major roads, just an FYI. In 2027, Vernia Road is going to be repaved, I believe. It's 2029. It takes 4 years to get these approvals. So that's when we got our money for that. It's through the Federal Aid Committee. Like I said, it's a $1.24 million project, and the city is going to have to contribute some of that money. The lion's share will be from the state. Like I thought it was like 300,000 or 400,000.
Is it 15%, Mike?
Yeah, it's like 15.
It used to be 85.
That's what that's okay.
15 to,
So just an FYI, that's going to happen. That's the next big road project, and we have curtailed our road repairs. We did a lot last year, and I think it's just we're being prudent thinking about that project that has to be done in the future. So lastly, the Cook Road Pump Station, the upgrades will be beginning in the new fiscal year 2026 through 2027. And then we will also we'll be bidding on the new water main that's going to be installed on Minot Road in the next few weeks. So that's also the next big project. Any questions? Yeah.
Is the study that's being done on the softening of the seawall through the Army Corps of Engineers, or is it something else?
It's through, there's several, so it's the Great Lakes Commission, Eagle, the
Yeah.
DNR.
And they're going to be speaking, I would assume, with like Boating Association or Fishermen Association, because how that would affect wildlife or what have you. So it's just a study, and the best I can do is visions of it.
Yeah.
The most that I have seen have been some kind of interesting rock barrier, and then maybe trying to do some foliage as well. But that's all I can say.
Great, thank you.
Daniel, has the Southeast Disposal made any, right now we have a moratorium with them. So they sent us a letter that we've been satisfied. We haven't heard from them since
No,
then.
we didn't discuss anything. No news is good news at this point.
I would think
That's
no
what I,
news is
yes.
good.
So that's
No, we still report to them, so we're still required to report, which we have, so we file a report with them every year. We still have things that we're working on, and we make those reports to them.
For the penalty.
Right. Well, so we don't call them penalties, but that's for paying for the exceedance for the, correct. So for
That's a
the,
nice word.
yeah, it is, so for the access fees, those continue to change. They went up a little bit this year, and as Mike explained to the committee yesterday, it's averaged over 3 years, and we had one a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, we had a really great year where we had no exceedance hardly. That dropped off, and so it's like our pension may review, as you
It
well
was
know,
probably the
you
senior
you
water
average it.
rates went up so high
Right.
because of the usage.
Right.
So one and the other.
Right. So we're on top of it.
Good discussion, good report, Daniel. Improvement Foundation, Rob? I've always had good news for us.
Always happiest volunteer in the village here. Mayor, council members, nice to see you. Very short report tonight. First of all, I hope you all noticed the seascapes. They are coming in beautifully. It's just very exciting, very nice. And thanks for maintaining them and keep it planted and watered. Water system's working well. So that's, the foundation is very, very proud of those things. It's great. Our front door looks nice. Next, we're got the idea of at the 4th of July celebration, having come some kind of a stand tent and some trustees there to provide information to citizens about residents about the pool and community center project. So we'll have the storyboards and provide information, be able to answer questions and solicit any kind of feedback, ideas, that kind of thing. So it's just really to start spreading the word and continue to get people excited about it. There's a lot of other items that are in the works for that. So we're pretty excited about that also. Heidi and Fran, our special events coordinators, have said at our last meeting that there will be a fall fundraiser. So I don't know what it is. I haven't gotten details, but I know it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll have more on that. Our next meeting's on the 20th of July. And, all are welcome. That's all I have for tonight. Questions?
Are we in the next phase in terms of fundraising or? I mean, everybody got a postcard.
You got a postcard and what's in the works is a bit of a larger mailing and some, additional direct contacts, that sort of thing. So the word's going to be out, and Ted has put together just a beautiful program to come at the residents and everybody in multiple ways. So the program is getting launched. I'd say, between now and a month from now, you're going to see and hear a lot.
And I think at the 4th of July, that tent with the displays, and that's going to drum up a lot of enthusiasm for the.
I hope so. We'll let people know, I think, ahead of time in one way or the other, to come on, you've got this, and you have questions about it. This is a place you can get the information and ask questions and see a little bit more. And so some people are going to be ecstatic and happy and let's go. And other people are saying, why are we doing this? And nothing wrong with our pool right now. So the other one, well, I don't. Yeah, more fun. So I think, that's going to be just a really good thing. Step by step, we've got to get there as a community.
Thanks, Rob. Sandra, do you have anything to add?
No, you did a great job of
Right.
talking about everything you covered.
Communications. Yeah.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. This is our high season for communications, the Great Convergence. We're at our high water. Most people think that I work on behalf of Steve. At this time of the year, I actually work on behalf of Jen because my main job is just to keep up with her tennis lessons and swim lessons and adult swim, you name it. Typically on our digital board out here in the lobby, Courtney and I, we follow the national rules of no more than 7 messages at one time. Currently we have 12. we've violated that. Just there's so much going on and there's so much to keep up with. So we have a lot of stuff going on here. This is the high season, no pun intended, for communications in the city. So we're actively doing that. At last month's city council meeting, I mentioned that we are in the process of major overhauling the newsletter. Now you saw it, right? You saw the June 1st newsletter. And it looks much, much different than the previous newsletters. We've been making changes with the emerging technologies. We're in, no pun intended, uncharted waters with this newsletter. This newsletter, at least I feel, is now the role model for all communication, city communications programs throughout not only the state, but the country. So I think we're doing things differently than everyone else, and we're doing them at a different level. And I'm going to go through and show you the making of the sausage, but I'm going to do it quickly. All right, so traditional newsletters, you get them from other organizations, you got them from the Shores, text-heavy content, lengthy articles, limited visual hierarchy and emphasis. Really, it's hard to gain a lot of information because it's just, you're reading a lot of text. So there's not a lot of, there's as much as visual engagement. It's less adaptable. There's not a lot of visual quality to them. Some have multiple event funnels like ours, but they reflect the traditional communication models. We are way past that now. We are in a different territory. So we have a new model, and this is our model, and we're sharing it now with the world. So it's a graphic first storytelling. So instead of simply having lots of text boxes, we're taking that approach and flipping it on its side and showing them graphically. And I'm going to show you specific examples of what we mean. So these are easier to read, easier to digest, easier to understand, more flexible, more engaging content. It's just such an easier newsletter to read. Now, we have left the longer form for more important things. So short spotlight features, those continue to be longer form stories because there's a lot of content there and it can't be replaced by a graphic. But the introduction of those stories are definitely changed with graphics. And we're going to show you that. So this is definitely a model for other municipal newsletters. And I have a feeling they're going to be following us in this process. So what are the benefits? So why did we do this? What is the purpose? More engaging, easier to read, easier to navigate. It's faster, get through it quicker. Improved understanding and memory comprehension when you look at these types of graphic-based stories. It's cleaner, it's more professional looking, and it really does a nice job of presenting what's going on in the city in a more exciting and visual way. So the work stands out more, it is cleaner. We have branding now more involved with these graphics, better aligned with the expectations of our communications and our residents. As you know, we do a biannual survey of residents, and they expect, a higher level of communication. We are meeting that expectation. So we are building resident trust and engagement and encouraging more residents to share the newsletter. All right, so let's talk about this. So the dive-in campaign, this was written actually last year for the sort of announcement of the public campaign, Mayor, that you were talking about. We are in a new phase. And so I wrote this. Now this typically would go in the newsletter. And so what it does is it's fine copy. It doesn't do anything bad or it's not worse. But now we have a more graphical way of expressing this. So it's more exciting. Watch Your Mailbox for Details stands out a lot more in this version. What are the takeaways? A new pool, new community center, a stronger community, a brighter future. And OCS Park is taking shape. That's what you get immediately from this. Whereas the other one, you might not get those type of messaging. So clear example of this graphic works really well with the messages and does it in a more concise and more engaging and more fun way. All right, so these are, Kenny gives me these every month. He'll send me some information, nothing wrong with what Kenny sends me. I rewrite them, he knows that I edit them, and I change them up, and then I put them in as type every month. So now with our emerging technologies, Look at the difference between those two. So you can read that or you can read this. So, lock it, take it, keep it safe, right? And then there's branding involved. It's in our colors, it's got our logo, it's much easier to read, it's so much better, so much more colorful. It's way better than just having a couple lines of type. All right, this one came from Michael. So on the left, he did not create this. This was given to him. A million things wrong with the flyer on the left, just a million things. No way to tell what's really going on. There's too much copy. It's just the red and the blue is really hard to read. It just is, from a graphical standpoint, a communication standpoint, I've got a lot of problem with that. So we now take it into Grosse Pointe Shores and cut down on the copy, only the rain down the drain. So now we have, it's simplified, no on the left, Grosse Pointe Shores branding on the bottom, and then our website address. So far superior on the right than on the left. This is what I got from Kenny on the left. The flyer, it's groovy. It's way back from the 80s. You got a microbus, you got an old camera, no colors for, it's just harder to read, right? So we redid it as a Grosse Pointe Shores branded flyer, much easier to read, better hierarchy, a million things different than the other one on the left. So improving internal flyers. All right, so here's one that, Mayor, you're featured on. I don't know if you've seen this one. The flag might be in your way a little bit. Yeah, thank you. Scott, I appreciate that. I think the mayor does too. So this is copy I wrote while I was here last month. So on my phone, I wrote this copy down and said, okay, this is what I want to say in the social media post, and I want to say in the newsletter. So I waited to get home, and then I created a graphic design, which is far superior to the type on the left. So separated them out. So we got the mayor's, the one doing the swearing in. We have the two officers, which I took pictures of. And we have their families at the bottom, and I put a little information about them. I interviewed them and found out a few details, which is in that little shaded area of, something that no one knows about them. So again, far superior to the right over the left, just straight copy. It just makes it so much easier to read and look and exciting. Scott, you don't need to touch the flag anymore. That would be it for the ones that are on the right. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. So the pool hours. So I got this from Jen, and this is the new pool hours. So I wrote the copy. Basically, I just got the hours. I wrote the copy, and then I said, okay, let's make it graphical. So we made it graphical. So it's a lot easier to read, right? What do you need to know? Weekdays 4 to 8, weekends 10 to 8:30, and then a little message at the bottom. So those message comes loud and clear in this version. All right, so reminders. So we got a lot of reminders in our newsletter. Instead of just as type, now we have them expressed as really colorful graphics that are super easy to read, super enjoyable, and easy to comprehend. All right, so left, there's our Sandra. That was the previous month, which we had nothing wrong with that type. We've been using that for many years. You have the headline, the subheadline, a couple paragraphs, and then a link, a button with a link to her full story. That's how we did Shore Spotlight. Now, look at the new version of this. And sorry, Sandra, I didn't have this for you when you did your assignment. You missed it by 1 month, kind of at the cutoff. So look at this. So that's not a headshot. That headshot was created by ChatGPT based on photos that I've taken over for many years of Mary. And so they created this headshot for me. And then the pictures at the bottom she provided. So I started with just a brief the headline, and then the subheadline, and then a quote, and then the button for more information. It's a larger story where you can read it. So I just think it's a very 180 million times better way of presenting. The Shore Spotlight is on the right than on the left. Not that there's anything wrong with what's on the left. It's just so much different and so much more stark, better, improved, fun, and more engaging. Okay, so garden rubbish. Typically on the left, we get this copy from Michael and I have a picture, and that's how I've done these stories in the past. Now on the right, much more easier to read, much more entertaining, stands out, it pops out, and the most important information is just drilled down into those tidbits where you can easily remember them. So the phone number stands out a lot more. So lots of ways to improve this. This is just a bonus one. So this was our Sharks logo from a few years ago. This is something that we used with emerging technologies to improve the logo. The team loves it. And it's I worked with Jen, the Sharks swim team to and a group of parents to improve this logo. So we are using emerging technologies at a level that I don't think anyone else is doing it. And we are improving all of our communications, not only the ones on the digital board out there, but also in social media and in our newsletter. And that is the evolution of the village view. We're making stronger connections, building trust with residents.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Very nice.
Any questions for Ted? I-
Very dramatic thing of.
It's like night and day. I mean, it's like 30 years ago and today's technology.
What AI system are you using?
We're using ChatGPT Plus, which we are now having, thanks to Steve. We are using the higher level version of it. And my biggest fan is Courtney. She's been encouraging me all along to keep doing this and tweaking it. And she really loves the greater graphics because she works closely with me on proofreading these documents. And so we've been working very closely together. And so it's just been so dramatic, the change in this newsletter. And we're like, whoa, I'm even stepping back and saying, and I'm in the business. I'm like, wow, this is really looking pretty cool, much different. So it's exploration, right? We're continuing to explore and tweak and improve.
And the summer is just about to begin and you're gonna be at the park probably every day now for the rest of the summer. With all the events that we have, swimming, fishing derby, I could just go on and on. The swim team itself is 3 home, because we alternate 3 home meets this year, 2 next year, 3 the following year. So let's keep our fingers crossed about the pool. But
Will do.
thank you, Ted, for all that you do.
Thank you very much.
Danielle, do you have anything to add?
No, we have a tentative meeting set up the 16th, which is next week at Tuesday at 4:30. So I hope to have some minutes presented for the next council meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Danielle. Legal report.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we lost your picture though.
It's coming. You can talk.
You were gonna say, that's the worst part of this. Let me see if I can get it back. No, you're right. You're there, Brian. Brian, you're there. We shut it off. Oh, geez. I got dressed up nice tonight. But anyway, here we are. Thank you. Somebody said earlier it was a short month. It was a short month for us too. You might remember at last month's city council meeting, we had some discussion about the city trying to craft an ordinance that would allow freer access into the municipal court here between residents, one resident to another, that have a difference of opinion. And, that's kind of a tough nut to crack. I can bore you with all the details about the jurisdiction of the municipal court, but it's, bottom line, it's very limited. So what we did, Steve Plumey and I got together with Don Denal, who's the city's municipal prosecutions counsel, and we brainstormed, the jurisdictional issues on the one hand, and was there another way to get into, for residents in particular, to get into municipal court as opposed to circuit court? There's a difference. There's a big difference. But for residents to get in there and make some headway with the judge in terms of obtaining an order to, in this case, it had to do with a party wall that's been crumbling, and I think you're all familiar with that. Anyway, we talked about it. Mr. Denault had 5 ideas that he is going to capitalize and put into a memorandum to the city to possibly, I say, get into circuit or into municipal court and get some relief as opposed to just issuing citations and civil infraction citations, and which involves a fine and some court costs costs and that sort of thing. I think that Mr. Denault was equally taken aback by the fact that we had a short month. We gave him a kind of a short leash on that. Haven't received his analysis quite yet. But I expect that we'll have that shortly and we can make more sense out of it and possibly come up with a recommendation for some type of procedural amendment, if not an ordinance amendment. Other than that, it's business as usual. We've consulted with the city from day to day on various things that have arisen, and that's pretty well it. Happy summer to everybody. Let me know if you have any questions about anything I've discussed tonight.
Any questions for Brian? Thank you, Brian. Good report.
Thank you.
Steve, manager's report.
Yeah, I'll be very brief tonight. I just had one thing. If you remember last year, JT Mesta and his foundation held a warrior run, which was very successful, and I think many of you were there. And they, again, given me an application for September 20th. So I have a completed application from them. We'll still require liability insurance, and without any objection, we'll just do this administratively and approve that for September 20th. It'll be exactly the same as last year, same time, same setup. I think they'd like to do it again.
Okay.
I have a question. Can you send out any flyers or notification about the sponsorship for the 4th of July celebration?
We have. So I had 3 people today. So we had another issue with the mail. We set it up 2 weeks ago. 3 people called us and said we never received it.
I never received,
So
I've never gotten anything about the
Yes.
pool either.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
been very bad, yeah.
everyone, I don't know what's up with the mail, but we stamped them, put them in the mail.
And over
And we wondered because of the response was very low. We were shocked that hardly anybody responded. We were sending out a second letter tomorrow, just as a reminder that we only have a few weeks left and we have to get it in.
I
for the
know,
printer.
that's why I was.
So
like-
we may hand deliver because of the mail, but we did mail them out. Because we got a couple back. So we know some people got them because we received some back. So
Well, I got a commitment yesterday for $5,000. So the money will be forthcoming, for the 4th of July. Yeah. Well, it's a special year with the birthday of our country at 250 years. So we have 5. I don't know, where did we commit to the outcome?
10.
10? Okay, so right there is half of it. At this point, we don't have any old business, we have new business. And this year, we have had, this is our second appointment, right, to the library board?
Correct.
It's an at-large position, and every city gets one appointment. We made that appointment at the last month. That was Marina Houghton was our delegate, sitting as a producer and the library board. We have 2 outstanding people, including one of our own residents. I've reread the resume, the curriculum vitae, and it's like unbelievable. But Dr. Betsy Pugo, is one person who's very, very interested and very passionate about the library. Fortunately, I haven't had a chance really to sit down with her, talk. I thought about if we make the appointment today that I could sit down with our 2 new library board members, Marina as well as Betsy. And I'd like to see our trustee or our library representative come to council on a quarterly basis, at least twice a year, to give us a report, what's going on, what are the exciting happenings at the library. So that's a critical resource in our community, and we have to get it right. So, I mean, at this point, I'd like to recommend the appointment of Betsy Pugo as our representative. I'm not sure the term, I think, goes out a couple years. But
4 years.
do we
30, yeah.
do we have to follow 4 years, or is it something?
This is an at-large bid and it's every 4 years.
Okay, well, at this point, I'd like to recommend her appointment, and I do promise to sit down with both her and Marina as our delegates to, again, to become maybe a little bit more involved. Again, it's a critical resource for our community. Is there a second?
Were there two people that put their names in?
Yes, should have.
Yes,
received
the
both.
other, did you get it in your
Sandra
package?
Ambrosi is the other one from Grosse Pointe Park.
She lives in Grosse Pointe Park.
Yes, I just wanted to be transparent, that's.
Yes, yes.
She currently serves on the board.
So would she be switching from that?
No,
From
she
the-
would be off the board.
Okay, so she either gets an appointment or she's off.
Correct.
Her term is expiring, is what you're saying.
Correct.
And the new term goes through 2030.
23rd, correct.
It's a long time, but this is in the bylaws of the library, right? So it's not something that we can amend or
Correct.
adjust.
Well, I second the motion, Madam Mayor.
Okay, is there any discussion?
I'd like to just make a comment. I certainly appreciate both candidates' commitment to the library and their willingness to serve as a trustee, but I'm kind of an unapologetic financial conservative. So I believe it's important that anyone entrusted with the oversight of public resources demonstrate a clear understanding of budgeting, financial stewardship, and accountability to the taxpayer. So based on the biographies and the CVs that were provided, you really don't have enough information to evaluate either candidate's views on the experience in these areas. So it's not a criticism of either candidate, but kind of reflects the fact that we haven't been given sufficient information to actually make that assessment. So the library's annual budget is very, very substantial. In fact, it's equal to or greater than the budgets of many of the cities within the 5 Grosse Pointes. So because of that magnitude of their budget, I think we have a responsibility to be diligent in ensuring that those appointments that we make to the library board to oversee the library and are people that have a significant responsibility, stewardship to our taxpayers. So for that reason, and not voting, I don't want to vote against the candidate, but for that reason, I'd kind of like to see that we either do a short interim appointment or table it until we've had the time to actually review the background of the candidates in more detail, more than what's just on their resumes or their CVs.
Well, I have read the resume and she does have quite a bit of experience in the budget areas. I've worked in this area and for NASA as well, so I know what she's done. You have to have a very in-depth knowledge of financials in order to do this kind of work. So, but I understand your thinking of, that you want to know more about it.
Has anybody met the person?
No, I have not. I've just read the resume.
Well, because the meeting was short, and we were just met 3 weeks ago, and I didn't know that we even had the secondary appointment as that large position. I mean, we're fiduciaries, these people are fiduciaries, and I understand fully what you're saying, Scott. I agree. I don't know if we have the latitude though, Steve, do we? I mean, in terms of,
Well, you most certainly have the latitude of not making an appointment tonight. If you want to interview, they would just have a month without a member. Whether they would keep the current member on for another month or not, I'm not sure. But they would just be short one board member. So it's your appointment to make if you decided to table it tonight and make it at the next meeting.
would it be okay if we invited both of them to come?
Most certainly could interview them both. I'm
Or
sure
in
it
a Zoom
is.
meeting.
Mhm.
So it could be
Certainly
done
you're right to do
between,
that.
it'd be done in between meetings.
I just want to make it real clear. I'm not opposed to anybody that's either of the candidates. I just think that it would be nice if we knew who they were because it's a very, very significant responsibility.
Yeah, the process for this was the library puts out applications in the newspaper. They accept the applications and they pass them on.
And these are the only two that
That's the
submitted
only
an
two that submitted
application
applications.
in the 5 Grosse Pointes.
Right.
Well, I'd be amenable to table it if the council would benefit from an appearance, invite both of them to the next council meeting and ask them questions that are concerning to you in terms of the financial administration or financial management of.
So are we deciding both of the candidates will be,
Well, we haven't tabled it yet. I mean, I guess I'm listening to Scott's points and they're very valid points.
And I have a question about that type of interview. It would be an in-person interview, but during the council meeting or prior to the council meeting? Or would it be a closed session meeting?
I would think it'd be a new business in the, this isn't an employee.
Yeah.
Closed session
Yeah,
really
you
applies.
would not do it. I don't think.
You could
legally
do a
would
closed
it
session.
Session,
We
correct.
have 6 weeks, so no.
You could also, I'm just trying to think, and Brian, jump in if you're thinking something as well. You could appoint a committee if you didn't want, if you want to appoint a committee of 3, you could do that as well. But if you want the whole entire council, that's the only other way to do that would be at a public meeting.
With the interest of transparency, I think a public meeting would be superior than a Zoom conference involving a smaller committee. I'd like everybody.
I don't think you
Yeah,
could
but-
do a Zoom with the entire council. If you wouldn't be able to do a Zoom with the entire council. So if you're gonna meet as a council, as a group, that would be in person. That the law expired for council meetings entirely in Zoom.
Well, one
And it would
time,
be, if they're all 7 of your meeting, it would be an official meeting. So but you could also do a special meeting. So you could have a special meeting at a different time. It doesn't have to be at a council meeting. You could set up a special meeting. We could pick a date prior to the expiration of July 1st. If you have a time in the morning or the afternoon, evening, to set up a special meeting, council could meet and interview the 2 candidates, speak with both candidates.
well, if council's in favor, I think having them come to a council meeting would be superior than any other alternative. Ryan, do you have an opinion about that?
Well, everything that's been talked about is really available and pretty flexible, I think. No, not a closed session because, there's certain criteria and exemptions that have to be met in order to have a closed session. So that's kind of off the table. I'm just thinking back, when our law firm was interviewed to take on this position, and that's 12 years ago, 13 years ago. We were with a number of council members in the council chambers. I think it was called as a public meeting, but I don't know that to be sure. But I don't recall seeing, an entire bank of people that we spoke to. It was yourself, Ted, and several others. So I think you can go any way you want on it. You can have an interview at a regularly called meeting. You can have an interview at a special meeting, as Manager Poloni just indicated. You can not have a public meeting, but there's some sentiment expressed tonight, at least, that it should be at a public meeting. So I think whatever you decide to do, short of having a closed session on it, is really quite acceptable and probably appropriate.
Well, now I refresh my memory and I remember that about 12 years ago, we did have 2 people vying for that position. And we had an interview during the council meeting as new business. So,
Okay.
and I would think that approach is superior. So everybody gets a stake. Steve had asked me, should everybody get a copy of the resume? And I said, absolutely. So everybody was furnished with a resume of these 2 candidates, but we haven't had a chance to talk to them. I agree that maybe that needs to be done. So at this point, if the council's willing, I would ask for a motion to table it.
Can I just ask one more question? Wouldn't it be beneficial to expedite things with a special sessions meeting, only because the fact we do it the month of June, then that person can take that seat for the July meeting?
I'm okay with it. It's I'm just concerned that with the summer that we may have conflicts with other.
And I don't disagree with you, but I'm not sure if it's pertinent that it's filled by that date or if it.
30 days.
If you'll give me a little leeway, what I can do tomorrow, if you just table this for tonight,
Yeah.
let me make contact with the library board, ask them first of all, when do they meet in July? Because they might meet,
After
you might
council
know,
meeting.
because your wife's serving on that, but we'll find out when they're meeting and just go over a little procedure with them and see what they say, and then I'll put that right out, back out to council. We know for sure it would be at the next council meeting unless there's some reason to do it
Early.
before that, and then I would let you know that immediately.
Perfect.
So that being said, Ted, if you'd like, I'll make a motion to table this decision.
Is there support?
Yes.
Okay, any further comments? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Thank you. Clemens, our contract agreement, page 50. It's only 60 pages long, but,
So, Mayor, as Kenny brought up this earlier, the Clemson agreement, this is really, it's the same agreement that we currently have. It's just switching. It's really
different authority.
switching to a different authority. Pricing is going to stay the same as it is currently. I'm sure there'll be adjustments. They usually have a yearly adjustment, but it looked at what I looked at, it looked like that they're going to have 1 year of no adjustments for what we use. And so it's just a formality. We just need a council motion to allow the mayor to sign the agreement.
Is there any discussion? If not, I invite a motion to approve the Clemens agreement, basically in the same contractual terms and conditions that we have already, just with a different legal partner.
So, second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. At this point, we need a roll call.
One more big business.
Oh, sure.
Well, should be on the chat.
Okay. We need a roll call vote to go into a closed session under the Open Meetings Act, Section 8C.
Skipping point 12.
Public comment.
Oh, public, I'm sorry. Is there any public comment? Shame on me.
Hi, this is Short. This is Debbie Mays from 62 South Cheval. And on behalf of the moms and myself, we just wanted to thank you for listening to the situation on Duval. And Chief Ken came out last night and have come up with some plans on what to do. And I know the moms are really thankful. So on behalf of them and myself, thank you.
Thank you, Debbie.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you for taking a moment to hear from us. My name is Sarah. I'm a preventionist with Care of Southeastern Michigan. Our office is based in Roseville. We do services as well in Wayne County, Grosse Pointe included. We would actually like to personally invite you guys to join us at Recovery Con and Film Festival on June 26th, just 25 minutes north of here at the MISD. If you're not familiar, the Michigan Recovery Con and Film Festival, it just spotlights, films on substance use disorders and recovery. Through these artistic pursuits, we're aiming to reduce the barriers and reduce the stigma around speaking about these topics and increase awareness of treatment and recovery options, while also creating a space for individuals who might be touched by substance use and maybe engage with one another in a safe that's, positive. During this event, though, we have youth panelists and presenters that will share the prevention efforts that they think, are most important in their communities and that are most important for elected officials like yourselves to, be looped in on. So these topics will reflect real experiences, concerns, solutions, things that really matter to them and their peers. So by attending, not only will you learn from them, I really think it's important for you to demonstrate, your leadership and just really, show out for our youth. I do have flyers if I may approach, and there is a QR code here. You can, just scan and just let us know you're coming and how many seats we can reserve for you. Yes.
Sarah, down short. I didn't catch your last name.
LMS.
Okay, great.
Yes.
What does MISC stand for?
Macomb Intermediate School District.
Okay.
That's all the Cass and like
Back
area?
Garfield, in that area, yeah, Clinton Township. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you for coming to our meeting.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? If not, we're going into closed session to discuss an item that's protected as under the Open Meetings Act. Need a roll call vote, Courtney?
Councilmember Siegel,
Yes.
Gagnon,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Navatalia,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Yes.
and Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes. We'll have a short recess for 5 minutes, and I thank everybody for coming. At this point, we're back in open session. I need a motion to go back in open session.
So
All those in favor, say aye. We're back in open session. And we have nothing else to report regarding our closed session. Okay, council member comments, John?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. A lot of guests out there. I'd like to thank Chief Wierenski for the super patch. It's very classic. I hope no one has in their mind to try to change it because it's iconic. It's a time-honored graphics, and I think it's an exceptional design. Okay. Now, I think
Right, that's important.
Yeah, I'm still going there. Yeah, a few more thoughts. I thought the communications chair did a great presentation for the newsletter. And also in conjunction with our website, our residents are well informed, no doubt. And also there's a social media presence with Facebook. So if somebody needs to know something pretty much at their house, they don't really need to take a drive to go by the park to look at the black sign or any other signs. They can pretty much pick up their phone. I imagine most people have a phone, personal phone or an iPad. And so with that being said, for the past couple months, there has been talk of a new video board sign in our city. I have not met one person in favor of this sign. In fact, most are adamant against it. So I'd like to make a motion for the Village of Grosse Pointe Shores of Michigan City does not allow a video billboard, sign, or LED billboard, black and white color, to ever be, or similar to be installed on city property, including land, grass, buildings, fences, etc.
Well, we already have one in the building.
And I would,
Outside.
but I don't know if we can,
Well, it's not part of the agenda. I don't know, Steve, is this proper?
And that's
Brian, is this
creating an
proper?
ordinance, right?
You guys are really outside of the purpose of the closed session.
right.
So we're back in open session, Brian. Yeah, but is it really open or have you opened the doors?
Yeah, the doors are open.
And we're being recorded.
The question is, it's not on the agenda. It wasn't an agenda item.
And we didn't add it to the agenda. Is that very
So
good?
You can do that. You can do that. You do not need a specific agenda.
Okay.
I know the rules and policies of the Grosse Pointe Shores Council allow for any council member to make an motion at any time during an open session meeting.
Yeah, as long as you're, see, I can't see you very well because I'm blocked out somehow or another. But I was not aware of the fact that you had gone into open session and reopened the doors to the public. But given that fact, that you now advised me of, you don't have to have an agenda at all, first of all. And if you do have an agenda, it can be as specific or as limited as you want. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I was more concerned with, are you really out of closed session now, which you are?
Well, I think there are some people who are for it. I don't care one way or another about the sign, but I do, when we had the sign out there were quite a few people that were in approval of the sign. Also, I think there's better ways of spending the money right now. We talked about that during the Grosse Pointe Shores Foundation meeting. Yeah, there's better ways of spending it. So I don't think the money is going to be appropriated for that because they want to spend it on the pool. If that's the concern.
Was this Improvement Foundation money funding this?
Yes. And, you know, we talked about it among each other and we said, well, we could put that money right now to the pool. Why would we put it on the sign? So I don't think it's gonna pass in the the Grosse Pointe Foundation, but there were some people that were pro the
Yeah.
signs.
This
Yeah.
might be
I
an
did
issue
speak with Rob Sattler from the foundation about this. And he says, oh, no, it's not an issue because the money that we're giving for the pool is in a different bucket than the money
Right.
we're giving for the sign.
It
So
is.
giving money for the pool won't
But
affect
there were
this.
quite a few of the members
But-
who were not in, you know,
But
they,
it's a $30,000
Yeah.
expenditure.
It
I mean,
is.
so to say, right now, why don't we just buy
I'd rather see furniture
chairs
for
or
the new
furniture for the
community
new
building
place
or-
instead of
Yeah.
a sign? That's my take on it, but I can't say that I'm totally opposed to it. I'm pro technology. But
Ask a question, would this be a sign like the one down at Woodbridge Avenue that, puts up all the law firms' names and, you know, the accounting firms and so on, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's an LED billboard essentially. I mean, it's a large
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah, the message would change every so many
I mean,
seconds.
it would make life easier for the city because they wouldn't have to go out there. It would be, you know, more
That's
visible.
My
They would-
point is, if you wanna know, okay, it's trash delayed, or, you know, a day, I'm not gonna drive down to look at a fancy sign, I can do it in the privacy of my
I think
own
it was
home on my
more
own
for
device,
events.
it's.
It's more
True.
for events in the park.
Well,
And
Well,
then
you
maybe
can-
city council meeting this, but people, I'm.
I mean, I like a relaxed sign, the way
I'm kind of
it is.
in the middle of the road. I mean, I don't. You're
where
gonna,
would this be posted, where would this sign
where
be
the
posted?
existing sign is,
Where the drunk drivers go through the fence.
no, the drunk drivers, they wanna do it at the same spot. don't
No,
they?
they
Or
don't.
anything.
They want to move it because
That's
they,
that's why I said, not on, you know, just anywhere external, the ones inside the buildings are fine, because people can see it, but.
This would be a burner and the gate.
It would be-
no. They don't really have a set spot right now, but they're thinking that the place where it is located right now is not appropriate anymore because people are not driving through there anymore. They're driving it through the side, so there's a debate
Like the
between
entry
where
to
to
the-
place it.
The
Yes.
entry to the new park entrance.
Right, the new park entrance. Go ahead.
Procedurally, is this something that is still can be addressed within the Improvement Foundation committee as opposed to bringing it to our attention at this point?
Well, there's two, if you don't mind, let me just, a couple concerns. One would be this, there are people on both sides of the issue first. So I think, one, just would be a somewhat of a lack of transparency if after everybody left tonight, we voted to do something that's going to be controversial. That's your call. I'm not telling you, I'm just saying that would be the appearance. If I was on the opposite side, I don't have any take on this. I don't care what way, but I would think I'd be a little upset. But the bigger thing is that the foundation said they are not going to fund this if the city council isn't for it. So the city council says, right now, we don't. I would be a little nervous. I would say, I would hate to pass something that said we could never, ever do something in any issue.
Right.
But I would say that if you council says, right now, we don't feel like a sign is, that we feel like we want to do a sign, I don't know that I do it right now. You could do it right now, but you could vote on that, and that would kill the issue. Because the foundation's not going to touch it if you're not in favor of it. That's what they've said.
But yeah,
At their meetings.
I would agree to that rather than saying never a
And
sign.
well, that's
because
because
not
you
how
I'm
they-
so ambivalent at this point, so
There-
let's table that until maybe after the pool is done.
No actions may be
The best.
best action at this point, just
agree.
not address it.
Mhm.
Where, you know, the Improvement Foundation can address this, knowing that concerns have been raised at city council meeting. This may be something that they want
We'll
to
share that.
look at and
Right,
share with
I'll
the
share
public.
that during the meeting next.
And then report back and we can see where we need to take it, if we need to take it anywhere.
And we need to probably.
Because it- if they're not acting until we do anything,
Well, this is a
us
public
not
meeting.
doing
They can
anything,
see them.
there's nothing for them to act.
I really think it's a dead issue. I mean, because again, if there's enough people on council, and I don't think the foundation even wants to get into a 4-3 vote. I mean, if there's people on council that want it, people that don't want it, the foundation isn't, I don't think they're
You want to
pushing
do
it.
happy, wonderful things that make
Right.
everybody
That
happy.
everybody's happy.
They don't want to do.
They want a clear consensus.
And there are some
And there's-
people who in the foundation who prefers to focus on the pool, even though there might be 2 pools of money, they still want to focus all the money there for right now.
And I think I have a little bit more imminent way to spend that extra money.
Right.
Our fence on the south side of the park right now, as I mentioned, the Parks Committee before. But the south side of the fence is in disrepair. A lot of it's falling in, disconnected, rusted. It's between the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club and the Grosse Pointe Shores Park, Shores Park. As it turns out, the manager of the yacht club called our staff today, like away, and said he said we should repair this fence. Why don't we go in halves? So I think that's a direction that we could really beautify our park and
Steer
have
that.
some money well spent. I don't think this is personally is the time to invest in a sign for information. I agree with what Dr. Siegel was saying about how the information is provided quite nicely. And I think the cost benefit would be better spent on something else like this fence repair.
I think the message that we all are trying to send has been sent. So I think that just this discussion lets people know that we do have concerns over something like this. I don't think we really need to vote on something because we all know, we know where we
Well,
stand.
this is public, this is being recorded.
That's right. So we know
They
what
can
it is.
listen to it and
Right.
see
Yeah.
that there's not a clear consensus.
Yeah.
So what
And
is
we'll
it,
bring
Ken? I
it, I think-
forgot. The motion wasn't seconded, was it?
No.
It was, John, it was your serious concern that you have.
Yeah. And I think like Scott said, I think the message has been sent.
And then Sandra will relay that at the,
I will relay that information at the next meeting.
And they'll all be watching this.
and the
minute or-
potential of a defense opportunity.
That's true. I'll bring that up.
Just for clarity, back before the communications committee was developed. It was developed for, there was three tenets, I believe. One was to establish a website, to establish a newsletter, and to establish more presence of social media. So I think we've hit those 3, and they almost seem like they're self-sustained. Those 3 entities of communication. So I don't know if.
When you explain self-sustaining, what do you mean by that?
Well,
Ted does most of it.
Yeah, you gotta keep them
Yeah, what do you mean
fresh.
by self-sustaining?
okay, well, I mean,
explain it.
so that's purely Ted runs the whole, that's like.
All the content, he does all that.
He does 80% of the work.
And he's
And that's
constantly
another issue
innovating
that
it.
I'll have with the communications committee.
He is a communication committee. Basically, he does a lot of it.
Okay, but is there, like last time I asked him, when, like, all the committees have minutes and agendas, I've never seen a communications.
Well, that's why
committee-
we have a meeting next week for you, John.
Okay, well,
I-
make sure we
I
have
made sure-
posted,
I
we have to have a
absolutely-
quorum, and it's all.
Well, I've asked Courtney, I emailed her last minute, I don't know if, actually we do, it's gonna be myself. Because we just finalized it, myself, Jen, Sarah, Carol Clenow, and Ted. And if Courtney, they wanted to do it at 4:30, but I don't know if you wanna go home. I told Ted to keep it brief.
Yes.
It's not very formal. It's sad.
I said to keep it brief, so.
Okay, I'm just.
So I will have minutes for
We have
you.
Okay, we got a real.
Yes,
legit
yes, and I said
Not a
we got,
one-man, one
yes,
person.
Women show.
yes. And it's, it's very difficult. I can get together with Ted and Steve and probably Courtney, but it's very hard to get together with Jen. She's not available. And it's hard to get, the rest of the year. She's not available. And it's very hard to get available with Carol Plano. She's just very difficult to pin down on a date. So I think Ted and myself and these two, and Ted doesn't want to do day meetings. He wants to do night meetings, and so it makes it a little more difficult. You know, I want to do a 7 a.m. meeting if I could, if he's not an early riser. So we're trying to make it work.
Okay, well, I think the message has been made and so that public comment, good public comment, John. Okay, John,
I'll pass.
Danielle,
I would hope that the community, all of Grosse Pointe Shores, is excited about this new dive-in pool project. I know some people have some concerns about maybe we should cut back this or cut back that, or do we need the activities building? I, for one, can tell you when I was at the park on Sunday, and I know that the pavilion's completely booked for the whole summer, that somebody was having a baby shower / baby party, and they rented their own tents. And it looked like a lovely, and I said, well, how sad that they have to purchase their own tents for this function on a Sunday because there's no place for them to go. So, and again, my fear is that some people that maybe are a little more mature or vintage don't want to spend the money, but this pool is a legacy, not for that sunset generation, but for your children and your children to come back to this community and stay here. You want to make it that much more attractive. So I implore council and our community to get behind the project.
thank you, Danielle. Scott?
I have a boat in the park, and I'm spending more time in the park than I have in past years, and I want to tell you that it's absolutely beautiful, and it's very, very nice. And the park is full, busy, bustling, and I think the pool is very, very exciting. I think everyone will thoroughly enjoy it, so I'm looking forward to that. I'd also just like to thank everybody for tabling the vote for the library trustee. I think it's good just that we understand who we have as candidates as opposed to just looking at something on paper. So I'm not opposed to anything. I'm just very excited to go through the process appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Don?
I just want to make one other comment about the Independence Day celebration. I thought maybe Mr. Floyd would cover that a little bit in his report, but he didn't. I didn't cover it in the Parks report. So let's just cover it very quickly. There'll be some new and exciting things at the 4th of July event this year. 2 new bands, 3 food trucks. The dive-in campaign will be full front and center as they do explanations to all residents who want to give their opinion on the new pool and center. So we encourage all residents to come to that and speak with the trustees of the Grosse Pointe Shores Improvement Foundation to give their thoughts and opinions about the pool project, and to get them, and also allow them to become more informed as to the plans. Also this year, we hope to have a special shout out to all veterans to come to the 250th anniversary of the formation of our country, and we'll recognize them at the meeting. And also looking forward to the reading of the at least truncated version of the Declaration of Independence by some incredible youth that helped us in the past.
Good comments, Don. Thank you.
Coming.
Sandra?
Well, I just want to second, on my opinion with Danielle, that one of the reasons why we were having a social for everybody in the community at the park, we were going to use the pavilion. We had to cancel it. One of the reasons was because the pavilion was completely booked the whole summer. So that's just one more reason why we have to have that community center, a gathering space, indoors all year round. So I think there's a lot of support for it. And like Danielle says, there might be some people against it, but this is a community that's getting new people in, and the younger generation needs all those items because they have them at the other parks. So why would they want to come here when they could get all those amenities somewhere else? So that's, I think we have to do it in order for us to keep our real estate values higher and want this to be a premier community.
Do you really want to live in the farms?
No.
Thanks, Sandra. Ron, I just have a couple of comments. The centerpiece of our city Remember, our city's called the Village of Grosse Pointe Shores, Michigan City. That's our legal identity, our legal existence, the village. And when you think of village, you think of quaintness. I think of Hamlet. I think of, just something special. There is no other city, I think this is a fair statement, in the state of Michigan that starts with village. That's a home rule city. There's zero. So we are special and not having any businesses. People are flabbergasted when I tell them, I can't buy a newspaper in Grosse Pointe Shores. I can't buy gas. I can't buy a donut. Everything is outside the community. It's a very special community. And hearing about the pool and the different Band-Aids, the filters, when I saw the room, they're about 8 feet tall. They sit on 36 inches of cement. There's 2 of them. I didn't know that we need one. Well, we have no backup. We have no backup. And when you look at the infrastructure of, I'm hardly a pipe fitter, but everything is showing its age. It's showing corrosion. It's showing rust. And we gotta push ourselves about the pool now. That's why I was asking, are we in the next phase? But maybe I talked to Steve about it, Sandra, we've talked, and we may need to get the council and have little mini sessions, non-quorum mini sessions, where we meet with the public and we invite so many people, maybe a couple of us can sponsor and invite some of the neighbors to get them excited about that. I don't want someone saying, well, I would have donated if nobody came to me, or I would have donated if I realized you had the money. I just assumed that you just went under the mattress and you found the money to do this. So we have to make it happen. I had no idea about the filter. And I remember last year, we had an unheated pool. Functionally, it was working, but no heat. Well, what did that tell you? That's why the splash pad didn't get any action or whatever. Now, somebody says, well, do we need a river? Do we need there's maybe some features of the pool we can fine tune if need be, but we have to get behind this and we have to make it happen because our centerpiece is right there. We have a marina and we have a very active park, and that's it. And we have to protect that. That's where generations of people get together. My son, my daughter, they're still friends with people from the swim team. We didn't even know about the swim team initially. And at that time, we were, I hate to say this, the laughing stock of the Lakefront Swimming Association, organization that's been in existence as a tax exempt organization for over 60 years. And the fact that we won it, I mean, given a 93 swimmers up against Grosse Pointe ones that had 228 swimmers, is just phenomenal. And so I'm hoping we can do something next week. I plan on being there. Invite the council to come to opening day. That's our opening day for the swim season. And just be as excited as the kids that won last year. Invite enough of them coming back, hopefully to make it a memorable occasion.
And 93 members of the swim team is quite a bit for the size of our community.
Right. We had one swimmer who swam for Liggett. Actually, Liggett didn't even have a swim team. He had to swim for Grosse Pointe North. That's
Brendan
Veland. But
he was a year-round swimmer.
Yeah, but it was just exciting. And talking to his mother after, I mean, it makes you feel like a kid again. At least it affects me that way. Take your shoes off, walk barefoot on the nice hot concrete,
Just sit down. The team win because we kept the heat off in the pool.
And so, well, I'm just so excited about the new pool, and that's why we talk about the sign. I'm thinking $30,000. Well, we can find $30,000 to buy furniture for the new, community building. High end, nice furniture. So,
and like everybody was saying, the phone, I think Sigo was saying that, right? We can get a lot of the communication through our phone.
Well, I think we need to get more excited as a council here and try to push this forward and introduce enough people. There's a lot of hidden wealth in this community, and I just don't want someone saying, I didn't know. If we can search out those opportunities. Steve and I talked about having like a donor board, but then having different classifications.
Right.
Somebody who gives more than 5,000, more than 10,000. And hopefully we have 300 names up there on the board. And that's real money. So,
We had, yeah, I was telling them how I saw the new center, in the park, and it's beautiful, and the wall, the donor wall was amazing, and they had all the different levels. They had a lot of $25,000 donations. So there weren't a whole lot of large donations, but there were quite a few $25,000 donations, and they all add up.
and the second floor where the community building would be, I envision that for people just to want to gaze at the great vista of Lake St. Clair from that point, without needing the community building, but just being able to walk up. I'm assuming there would be stairs.
Well, I think we
somebody
need the
can-
community building in order to go
Yeah,
up there.
I know that, but someone just
Have
to
events,
spend an hour or something.
yeah.
Maybe go to the refreshment stand and walk with a coffee up the steps and sit there and just admire the unbelievable beauty of our vista of Lake St. Clair.
Absolutely.
So, well, with
Take
this,
advantage of it.
I need a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting is on July 25th at 7 o'clock, so 5 weeks from today.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, say aye.